Hello and welcome back to Modeling Manhood. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about how we started our CSB group in our town here for all the local boys. And just our first big event and the catastrophe, but excitement and the great memories that were had that day. And I am holding a paddle. Ouch, I just got a sliver. Ow. Wow, I guess that's kind of like the day that we went on our canoe trip that I'm going to be talking about with you guys. Ouch. But all the boys signed the paddle that day. We started our group in 2022, and we call ourselves the Fire Ants. And we also go by the Squires. And if you guys think about like a night in training, these boys move on to youth group once they turn age 13. But the summer that we started, we were so excited to go kayaking and canoeing with all the boys. And I made one vital mistake, and that was not to see who had experience. One of the dads bought two inflatable kayaks the night before off of Craigslist, and him and his son were the first to capsize. We lost everything from bird identification books, water bottles, telescopes, binoculars. I mean, the boys had all their belongings as if we were going to go on a hiking trip, packed into the kayaks and canoes. My vessel was the only one that didn't capsize that day. I had ambitions of doing about 13 miles, and we had a hard time doing about 4 miles that day in a matter of 6 hours because we spent more time flipping canoes and kayaks back up on the right side, collecting belongings, running downstream, portaging in a couple of the shallow spots. But it was a crazy adventure. It was so much fun for my boys. And I think that kind of set the stage for the adventures that we've been able to enjoy over the last few years. And this summer we're going to try again because last year I needed to just take a break and make sure that people were ready and prepared with the skills necessary to make the trip a little bit more enjoyable, especially for the boys and for the dads that were also inexperienced on that adventure. I'm going to flip into the Bible now and go into Deuteronomy, and I want you guys to listen, then we're going to talk about a few things. Deuteronomy chapter 28, starting in verse 64. And the Lord will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the earth to the other, and there you shall serve other gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. And among these nations you shall find no respite, and there shall be no resting place for the sole of your foot, but the Lord will give you there a trembling heart, and failing eyes, and a languishing soul. Your life shall hang on in doubt before you. Night and day you shall be in dread, and have no assurance of your life. In the morning you shall say, if only it were evening, and in the evening you will say, if only it was morning. Because of the dread that is in your heart you shall feel, and the sights of your eyes shall see, and the Lord will bring you back in ships to Egypt, a journey that I promised you that you should never make again, and there you shall offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but there shall be no buyers. And if you guys are thinking about kind of the sadness that the people must have been feeling as Moses was sharing these words and writing them here, the Lord said he was going to scatter the people of Israel, kind of like our belongings were scattered over a long period of the creek as we were trying to gather up all the belongings that got flipped or wrecked or ruined. And it says there'll be no rest. And did you guys catch the end? They are going to be taken back to Egypt, and there's going to be no buyer. And I don't know about you guys, but that is not my destiny. I don't want that to be your destiny either. That day when we were out on the creek paddling, I'm going to watch out so I don't get any more slivers here. We had a destination in mind. And we had actually taken my large passenger van and parked it at the end of the 13 miles that we had planned on doing. And we had to make other arrangements to meet at like a third of the way because it just wasn't going to happen. and we were running out of light and energy and just patience with some of the people that were in our group. And the Lord says that their hearts are going to be turned over here. And if we're not careful, our hearts will be turned over too on things that aren't spiritually nourishing. And we need this to be our sole source of supply for our nutrients for our soul so that we can continue each day. We don't need to be turning to things of stone or things of wood like they're talking here. And the good news for us, if we put our trust in Jesus, is that He is going to help us navigate through all those obstacles along life's journey or along the creek that day. And all our belongings that we have with us, we're going to leave behind. Kind of like the things that we lost that day or were ruined that day because they got wet. None of those things are going to matter. And I just want you guys to get on board, hop in the vessel with me, let God direct and navigate through the waters of life. And at the end of this life, we will have a buyer. Unlike those Israelites that were going to have to be sold back into slavery to the Egyptians, to their enemies. God has already purchased us. His Son paid a price. So we've been purchased if we've accepted Him into our hearts. And I hope that makes sense and you guys can make the correlations. Life is an awesome adventure, and I'm so proud of the boys, and just love being part of that with the other dads. And this is kind of a token for the memory. I have another paddle ready for this year when we go on our adventure, and hopefully we'll be sharing that at some point with you guys too. But make sure God's the one that's leading you guys down the creek. And at times when you think it's impassable and impossible and there's obstacles in the way, know that He wants to take us, direct us, guide us, and come alongside us. He doesn't want to push us. He wants us to lean on Him. And I hope you guys are doing that each and every day. Remember to mirror your maker and journey with Jesus. Catch you guys again tomorrow.